Hey everyone. You know, if you're trying to keep up with everything happening in AI, it can feel pretty overwhelming. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to look at the hard data, the real numbers behind this incredible pace of development, and figure out what it actually means for us, right here, right now. All right, let's jump in.
So let's just start with a number that kind of makes you stop and stare for a second. 4,300%. That's the growth just year over year and the amount of data AI models are chewing through every single week. You can think of that data as tokens, basically the words or parts of words an AI reads. And that consumption is it's exploding.
And that number, it really gets to the heart of the one big theme for AI right now, acceleration. It's not just a feeling you have that things are moving fast. The data proves it. The rate of change itself is speeding up. We are absolutely on an exponential curve, and that curve is just getting steeper and steeper.
So, first up, let's talk about the Great Acceleration. We're going to unpack the data that shows just how fast this train is moving, starting with how quickly people are jumping on board.
Okay, first, let's look at the users. I mean, we all remember when TikTok set this crazy record, right? Getting to 100 million users in just 8 months. Well, ChatGPT didn't just break that record, it completely shattered it, hitting that same milestone in just 5 weeks. That kind of speed is just unprecedented. It shows you how fast this technology has grabbed the world's attention.
But it's not just about people signing up for an account. It's about how much they're actually using it. Look at this. Google's AI token processing more than doubled in just 2 months over the summer. That is not just steady growth, you guys. That's a massive turning point, and it's happening as we speak.
And this gets at the real core tension that's driving the whole AI market. We're always hearing about the shortage of computer chips and how demand for data centers is just soaring. But at the exact same time, the cost to actually run an AI model, what the industry calls inference, is plummeting. And it's that dropping cost that's unlocking all these new possibilities and just pouring fuel on the fire.
So what is the engine behind this massive acceleration? Well, it's a really fundamental shift in what AI is even becoming. We're moving way beyond simple assistance and into our next big topic, the rise of agents. You can think of them as autonomous AI workers. So what exactly is an agentic AI? Well, to put it simply, these are AI systems that don't just, answer your questions. They can actually take action. They make decisions. They work on their own to achieve a goal you give them. So you got to think less like a helpful chatbot and more like a digital team member you can delegate actual tasks to.
And listen, this is not some future sci-fi concept. It's here. A recent KPMG survey found that the number of businesses with a full-blown deployment of AI agents tripled in a single quarter. It jumped from 11% to 33%. This is happening right now inside real companies.
And it's not just that there are more agents out there. It's that they're getting better at this. Just astonishing rate. According to Meta Research, the performance of these agents on really complex tasks is doubling every 70 days. I mean, just think about that. That pace of improvement is almost hard to wrap your head around.
So that brings us to our next section. How are businesses actually using these new autonomous agents? Let's get into the most practical, real-world applications and see where the money and the energy are really flowing today.
So when you look at where these agents are being put to work, it's not even close. One application is just dominating everything else. Coding. A massive 77% of companies building with AI are using agents for coding assistance. It is, without a doubt, the killer app of the moment. It's driving so much of the adoption and investment across the whole industry.
And what's the strategy here? What are they trying to do? Well, it's a bit of a mix. While almost half of companies are trying to balance using agents for both saving money and creating new opportunities, you can see there's a really strong pull toward just making current operations better, faster, and cheaper. A full 36% are focused almost entirely on those efficiency gains.
But of course, a technological shift this big doesn't happen in a neat little box. It creates some pretty profound challenges for people, for organizations. So let's zoom out a bit and look at the human side of this new reality. The reality of working alongside digital colleagues.
And this right here,
This data point, it shows a really stark and critical disconnect. You have 3/4 of executives who think their company's AI rollout has been a success, but less than half of their employees agree. That gap in perception, that is a huge red flag. It can lead to slow adoption, resistance, and ultimately failing to get the real value out of AI.
And at the heart of all these challenges is this really fundamental question. How do we even think about these things? I mean, are they just another piece of software? Because if so, we manage them one way. But what if they're actually more like digital employees? Well, that just breaks our traditional org charts and forces us to completely rethink management itself.
And because of that, we're seeing a big shift in what skills are becoming the most valuable. Executives are now saying that to manage in this new era, those traditional soft skills have become absolutely critical. Things like decision-making, collaboration, teamwork, but also this new skill, orchestration, these mixed teams of human and digital workers. That's the new frontier.
And look, none of this is theoretical. A recent finding from OpenAI just grounds this entire discussion right here in the present. They found that on complex, economically valuable tasks, so real work, the current version of their agent performs at or even above a human level in about half of all cases. That one fact makes every challenge we've just talked about incredibly real and incredibly urgent.
And that's what we're left with. This isn't about some distant future. The acceleration is happening now. The agents are already this good. So the real question it leaves us with is, what does our partnership with our human and digital teams look like? Not in 10 years, but tomorrow. That's our explainer for this time. Thanks for joining.